Hello friends! In this video I'm going to be talking about Kundalini, Taoism, and the third eye, and how they all relate to my own experience I had of my third eye suddenly opening several years ago. If you haven't watched the video of me describing that experience, I recommend you check that out before listening to this video. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, when I had my third eye experience, it very much felt like an orgasm in the center of my brain, right in the location of the pineal gland. Now, after I had my experience, I started doing research. So obviously, all of a sudden, I was very interested in this, and I wanted some answers. What the heck happened to me? And what I found had the most information regarding the third eye was Kundalini Yoga and the chakra system. Now, what is Kundalini? Kundalini is considered the vital cosmic force of creation, and it's within the human body. And it symbolized as a serpent coiled up and resting at the base of the spine. It is considered the goddess or the mother of all creation. And the goal of Kundalini Yoga is to have that energy awaken and rise up the center of the body to the top of the head. And why do they want to do that? Well, the goal and the intention of that is to reach enlightenment, to have an experience of apotheosis or oneness with the divine, with all of creation. And in the literature of Kundalini Yoga, another way they describe that is the goal of Kundalini is to unify or to bring back into union the male and the female, or the Shakti is the goddess with Shiva, the god. And Kundalini is the Shakti, is the feminine energy. So the goal is to have it rise up, to rouse up the spine or the center of the body, and to meet Shiva, the god, the godhead, in the head. Where they meet, where they join, is in the head. This is very fascinating to me because, like I said, it felt like an orgasm for me. So it very much relates to how they describe it in their myths and their metaphors, is the joining of these two forces, the feminine and the masculine, together. And when they join, something happens. You have an experience of your oneness with everything. Now it seems that Shakti and Shiva are just representations of the polarity of manifestation. They represent the polar opposites of everything, right? The two extremes, the hot and cold, the sun and moon, the night and day, and so forth. So once you bring these two forces together and unify them into one, you reach enlightenment. Shakti, feminine power, and Shiva, masculine power, become one, and in their union, everything gets dissolved. In the evolution of the yogin, there is always the union of both the man and woman powers. This quote is from AGHORA 2, Kundalini by Robert E. Svoboda. The purpose of Kundalini Yoga is to reunite Shiva and Shakti, to create the eternal form of Shiva, Sadashiva. Sadashiva's left side is female and the right side is male. The two principles have united but have not yet merged. If they were to merge, that would be the end of the play. Sadashiva exists on the cosmic scale. In an individual, this deity is called Ardhanarishvara, the Lord who is half female. In order to manifest Sadashiva, the Kundalini must be made to fully rise, because the highest manifestation of Shiva in the human body is the head, the highest part of the body. So how does this relate to Taoism? Well, I feel like this Shakti and Shiva, this idea of masculine and feminine power, or cosmic power within the body, is the same idea of yin and yang in Taoism. And I also found in my research a very interesting passage describing the technique of Taoists to reach enlightenment. And to me, it sounds like exactly the same technique as Kundalini Yoga. So the Taoist Bao, the three treasures, I feel like are exactly the same thing as the Kundalini Yogis' Granthis, or three knots in the body. This quote is from the Magus of Java by Kosta Danaos. In China, the three qualities of man's energy are called the Bao, or three treasures. They are Qing, Qi, and Shen, or essence, energy, and consciousness. By transmutation of the three treasures from coarse to subtle form, and by subsequent interaction, a mysterious something is conceived. That something is the spirit embryo. Once Qing had been transmuted to Qi through meditation and yogic breathing, the practitioner discarded the entanglements of mundane life and sought stillness, so that he could further enliven the Shen through the Qi. Reportedly, the area where the seedling Shen resides is between and behind the eyebrows, the third eye to some. But once the Shen was conceived, it had to gestate. Once gestated, it had to be born. Once born, it required nourishment. For the Taoist alchemist, the dantian, 3 finger widths below the navel, was the crucible in which the elixir of immortality was brewed. It was there that Qing was refined into Qi, while from the Dantian purified Qi was sent up to the spirit valley between the eyebrows to give birth to the embryo Shen. There was a step further from that point on if the yogi truly desired eternity. The independent Shen had to be merged with the source of all things, the Tao. In essence, what the teachers were saying was that the personality had to unite with the flow of the whole universe. Now I'm going to read a quote talking about the three granthis, or knots, in the yogic system. This quote is from Chakras by Harish Johari. There are three knots in the Sushumna, the path up the center of the body. They represent the three aspects of consciousness: knowing, feeling, and doing. The Brahma Granthi is feeling and the mind. The Vishnu Granthi is doing and prana. The Rudra Granthi is knowing and jhana, true knowledge. When the three knots are untied, phenomenal reality becomes pervaded by divine energy and the self becomes established in the sheath of bliss. Brahma Granthi, most tantric scriptures placed it in the Manipura chakra, the third chakra. Vishnu Granthi is located in the area of Anahata center, heart center, which is also the seat of prana. Rudra Granthi is located in the area of the Ajna chakra, the area of the third eye. Rudra is the destroyer and is true knowledge. There is nothing to destroy except the illusion that is I consciousness, or ego. Finally, one must go beyond the attachment to I consciousness, which obstructs the path of Kundalini on its way to Soma chakra, where the supreme truth is realized and non-dual consciousness is achieved. The I consciousness is like drop consciousness, and the truth is the ocean of pure consciousness. The drop and the ocean are one, but the I consciousness of the drop keeps it separated. As we see in the Taoist belief, the Dantian is in the same location as the Manipura chakra in the yogic Kundalini philosophy. I feel like these two descriptions are describing the same process. Again, the idea is to bring this energy up through the body, through the different centers, to the top of the head, the area of the third eye, to awaken it and to merge these two opposing forces. And once the energy is raised up to the top of the head, or to the third eye area, then we again connect and feel our connection to all of consciousness, or this one in everything. And I'll leave you with this last quote from Jesus, which I feel like directly relates to what we've been talking about. If two make peace with one another in this one house, they will say to the mountain, "Be removed," and it will be removed. Of course, I don't know for sure if this is what he's referring to, but I can't ignore how it directly relates to the same idea. In this one house, which I feel like is the body, make these two as one, and you'll become powerful. You'll reunite with all creation, and you'll receive higher powers, higher perceptions, and become enlightened, and realize your connection with creation. If you're interested in this and want to hear more about these connections between different philosophies and different masters, you can check out my book. It's called The Eye-Opening, right here. I'll put a link in the description below. Also, if you want to hear more about how Jesus and sayings from the Gospel of Thomas relate directly to the third eye and the same ideas that we've been talking about, you can check out a video I'm going to post about that, and I'll put the link in the description below. Thank you for watching.